Brad GarlingHouse and the team over at Ripple have just placed a major bet on the future. And this bet is an entrance into a market that is massive news, as it's expected to grow into a $3 trillion market over the next 5 years. So we'll be covering why this is the best possible decision Brad GarlingHouse and the team at Ripple could make right now. This has the potential to open up the doors to hundreds of more institutional partnerships, adding businesses and even customers, increasing the total volume on the XRP ledger, which will directly drive value into the ecosystem and largely influence the price of XRP. So in this video, we'll be covering what that major development is, why it's so important, and why investing in XRP over the next few months into the end of the year is likely a great decision. We'll also be covering the potential future size of the market in a few key metrics that will drive future adoption and create for an environment that new retailers enter the market and then pump your bags. And finally, we'll be diving into some on-chain analytics and technical analysis that will help you gain a clearer picture about what's really going on and when we can expect some new highs. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the richest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. So what exactly is this new development over at Ripple that's got us excited, that is going to grow into a $3 trillion market and an opportunity for Ripple to enter the space in a major way? Well, it is stablecoins. Now, I did have to hook you a little to get you to watch this video because, to be fair, most people in the XRP community don't really care about stablecoins. But at the end of the day, they play a major and a crucial role in the entire ecosystem of crypto, and arguably they are the most utilized cryptos in the entire space outside of something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So when you look at the total market cap of Tether, we're sitting at about $118 billion, and then ranked number 6 at $35 billion is USDC. So in total, we have about $150 billion. Now, what's crazy is over the next 5 years, that is expected to grow from $150 billion to $3 trillion. That is a massive growth and a massive opportunity for a lot of new players to enter the space. So we're going to dive into some of the data and then how this is actually going to affect XRP, because I think this is one of the best decisions the team at Ripple has actually made over the last year. So recently, Ripple just put out a report on stablecoins, and we're going to dive into some of the data. The market cap of major stablecoins has grown significantly, reaching $123 billion in October of 2023, and currently we're sitting at about $150+ billion. Today, that represents 10% of the total amount of digital assets in the market. Recent report projected about 2% of the global money supply is going to be via stablecoins and CBDCs, which could be tokenized over the next 5 years to about $3 trillion. And what's more important is the fact that they're going to be truly collateralized. Fiat reserve-backed stablecoins represent 93% of the market today. USDT and USDC are the leading stablecoin offerings, accounting for over $100+ billion or 90% of the total market. Now, that is important because at the end of the day, when you really think about the early days of the internet, there were a few major internet companies, but those weren't the only ones that entered the space, and those are not the only ones around today. If you were to look 20 years ago at the internet and how it evolved and developed, most companies are not around. A few of them, like Microsoft and Amazon, still are, but there was still a boatload of room for other players to enter this space, especially if there's a strong use case and a growing market demand. So here is the image of the market cap and the growing trend. I mean, we're looking back at 2017, 2016. The total market cap of Tether was about $15 million. And then it had its highs, it had its lows, but generally speaking, the trend has been up and to the right, and it's going to continue to do so. But just because it's the biggest player in the room doesn't mean it's going to be the only player in the room, to which Brad GarlingHouse just spoke about over on Bloomberg.
And you're coming here with sort of good news, I guess, for people who have been following what you do. You could be launching your stablecoin a bit faster than most people thought.
Well, we've always been kind of consistent that we're going to do everything we can to launch this year. Everything Ripple does is in conjunction with regulatory approval, licensing, and so a key issue that we will continue to make sure we are partnered with U.S. regulators before we go live with the stablecoin. We'll first issue it, we expect, in the U.S., but we think there's opportunity for stablecoins globally. And certainly Japan, as you, I think, probably know, they approved some legislation a year ago that came into effect this year. And so there's a process underway now to do stablecoins here in Japan as well.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. But when we're talking about the U.S., we're talking about a matter of weeks for this launch.
Yeah, our expectation has been to move as quickly as we can. Some people, I think, thought that might be the very end of the year. We won't know for sure until regulators say, yes, we have the green light. But we're optimistic. We acquired a company called Standard Custody, which had a New York DFS trust license. And there's a process you go through to kind of transfer that and how it's going to be used. We've had a great partnership with the New York DFS, Department of Financial Services, through a BIT license we've had for many years. And we'll continue to partner with them and work through that with them before we go live.
Tell us a little bit about the use case. How does this really differentiate from your token itself? Because that's also been talked about, the payment system, right?
Right. We've always used XRP, the digital asset that's kind of native to our technology stack. We've used that as a bridge asset to transfer money across borders. What we have found is that stablecoins, particularly US dollar stablecoins, has gone from a pretty small market to today it's about $170 billion worldwide. And people think that may end up being 2 to 3 trillion in about 5 years. Given Ripple's place in the payments infrastructure, as well as a trusted brand partnering with financial institutions and regulators, we felt like there's an opportunity to enter the stablecoin market as that market continues to grow. We already have used stablecoins in our payment flows for certain corridors, depending upon whether you're going to the Australian dollar or the Philippine peso. Certain corridors, it's more efficient to use a stablecoin at times. So we always use what's best for the customer, and we decided to go live and build our own stablecoin, and excited to get live with that this year.
Thinking of building a
Now, why exactly would bringing a stablecoin matter for the price or the value of XRP? It's something that I actually mentioned at the beginning of this video. It's the fact that it's going to bring a lot more attention to the XRPL ledger. And so as more institutional players and as more retailers adopt this network, more attention will be brought to the token of XRP. So at the end of the day, all attention is good attention, even if it's negative sometimes, right? But when you have a lot more players in the space trading with the RLUSD stablecoin, they're ultimately going to want to access XRP. And I'm sure the team over at Ripple is figuring out some creative ways to integrate XRP and incentivize the use of XRP, which will bring value to the token and ultimately drive the price up. But in this article, it's actually really interesting because they share exactly why stablecoins are so important and valuable for the entire crypto ecosystem. By leveraging a distributed ledger, stablecoins also introduce a whole new set of rails to simplify the movement of money, reducing costs and reducing the number of intermediaries involved. So when you really think about the old traditional system, fiat currencies, the SWIFT payment system, so on and so forth, I would argue the market's probably going to grow faster than just 2% of global assets. It's probably going to be 3 to 5% bare bones minimum, which would bring the value of stable coins up to, I don't know, $10 trillion, $7 trillion in a relatively short period of time. And as that market grows and as more major players like XRP and Ripple, or I would argue Ripple, enter the space with RLUSD, what's going to happen is it's going to, again, drive value back into the XRP ecosystem. So this is a major play, guys. The distributed ledger allows for shared ledgering among unaffiliated parties to settle movements of tokenized assets and stablecoins are the first significant application of this tokenization, facilitating real-time, efficient transactions. But in theory, all assets could eventually settle on blockchain. That is tremendous news. And there are very few players that are in such a stable position to create a stablecoin like Ripple. Now, another really interesting piece of information that I found in this article is the fact that the average SWIFT transfer settlement time takes 3 to 5 days. However, domestic transfers cost $28 on average and $44 for an international transfer. Think about how expensive and clunky that is and how slow relative to XRP. Now, I know a lot of people in this community already know this stuff, but it's nice to have it confirmed and to say that XRP isn't the only asset that can do that. If they introduce the RLUSD stablecoin, more eyeballs, more attention, and arguably more value. And Visa and MasterCard cross-border fees can reach up to 7%. Stablecoins cut the Gordian knot. Ultimately, stablecoins will be a tide that lift all boats, increasing demand across the space. But personally, what I get so excited about is just that the market is still really, really small, but it's already showing such tremendous growth. The stablecoin market is growing with approximately 27.5 million active users, and the growth in transaction volume from human activity reinforces the positive sentiment that has driven the entire crypto space forward in 2024. Other market indicators of the appeal of stablecoins to TradFi firms are the launch of the stablecoin from PayPal, the Stripe partnership with Circle to relaunch crypto payments, and the initiatives launched by Visa to get into the tokenized payment space. So all of these major companies and players want a piece of this pie, yet very few have the right technology and infrastructure and time like the team behind Ripple. So the market is going to continue to grow, and there are so many people that might not only take advantage of the RLUSD stablecoin on the XRPL ledger that are already in the space, but we're talking people outside of the space as well. When you look at this report from CoinGecko, they say that 8.7 million addresses hold stablecoins, with 97.1% of them holding the major three: USDT, USDC, or DAI being the smallest. But you can see this is a large number of users. And yes, a lot of these users are going to jump and use RLUSD when it is alive. Then in this article from Crypto News, it states that crypto ownership remains steady across the US, UK, France, and Singapore, where 57% of crypto owners are comfortable adding crypto to their investment portfolio. So here we have the people that currently own crypto in all of the United States, UK, France, and Singapore in terms of percentages. And you can see here that these are past owners, and arguably these would be non-owners. The blue represents the size of the potential market. These are people that have never touched crypto, but likely would in the future. So there's a lot of room for growth, and virtually every single one of these people is going to need access to a stablecoin, whereas not as many of them are going to want access to any one crypto, right? Because cryptos introduce a bit of volatility, whereas stablecoins reduce volatility because it's pegged to the US dollar. But what's so exciting is it's not just non-owners. Further, many past owners noted that they soon would be re-entering the crypto market. So even people in this space, in this, orange area, are likely going to be entering crypto. And by the way, this is just 4 countries. We're not talking about all of the major countries all around the world, or even third world countries where demand for stablecoins and holding US pegged dollars, so to speak, right, are even more important because they have highly inflationary currencies. So now we're going to dive into some on-chain analytics that are pretty cool. Right here, you see that we have the price of XRP. Yes, it's failed to perform relatively well since the outcome of the 2023 SEC lawsuit, where basically they stated that XRP is not a security. Since that point in time, we have been in a consistent downtrend. However, it looks like the trend as of the last couple of months has been turning up, right? We are no longer getting lower lows. It seems we're actually getting higher lows, in the case right here on August 4th, and then yet again on September 6th. So we might officially be creating a new trend, but we still have to break to new all-time highs. What I'm going to look at is the total amount of wallets that hold between $1 1 to like 100,000 tokens to see if they are growing. Are more retailers entering the XRP community? So as you can see here, from 0 to 100,000 tokens since the actual outcome right back here in July of 2023, we've added more and more wallets. Back here we were sitting at about 4.7 million, and consistently more and more wallets have been entering the space and holding more and more XRP. And I would argue these are all retail investors, because 100,000 tokens really isn't that much when you think about it. We're talking $52,000 right now in terms of value. Okay, so that said though, it is a consistently growing community. There are more holders of XRP. Now let's look at the institutional players. Now, this yellow line, okay, is indicative of anyone who holds between 10 million to 100 million XRP tokens, which is equivalent of about 5.3 million, upwards of $53 million. And as you can see here, since the outcome of that lawsuit right over here in July of 2023, we've seen more and more wallets entering the space. So consistently bigger players are also stacking on their bags, which is a good indicator that both when retail and institutional players are stacking in the bags and accumulating, that something is about to happen and something big will. So I don't want to dive too much into the technicals right now, considering we've been in a long, strong range, and we've been talking about this price action for quite a while now. Yes, things have been relatively boring, but I do want to point out a few key things. The first thing, okay, we want to break out above that 64-cent range. If we fail to break above there and the price continues to trend down, it's likely we're going to come and touch that 45-cent range, or maybe even 42 to 38 cents. Currently, the trend is down. However, when you look at the actual relative strength, this line indicates the relative strength to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, okay, is kind of like the mothership that you want to test things against in the crypto market, is the longest, strongest performing asset in crypto history. Yes, a lot of things have outperformed Bitcoin at one point in time, but more often than not, they dump right back down 90, 98% and really do nothing. Okay, then you have your major altcoins that are in the top 10, 20 by market cap. Most of these have currently underperformed Bitcoin the entire year. And as you can see here, since October of 2023, XRP was underperforming. The zero line right here is indicated by this pink line right here. So anything below here would be an indicator that XRP was underperforming. But then in July 12th of 2024, XRP has now been outperforming. And so the relative strength is getting consistently higher and higher and higher, while price is going lower. This is what you would call a divergence. So things are actually pretty exciting. Then when you go ahead and actually pull up volume, you can see that volume since this point in time has actually consistently contracted as well. And we're talking since August of 2021. So when volume consistently gets lower and now we're below average, that means what happens before expansions? Contractions. So it's highly likely we're going to get an explosive move to the upside, considering we have so much freaking support from this range all the way down to like 28 to 30 cents. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a box right there, because anything in this range, in my opinion, is a really good buy zone or an opportunity. Then when we get a break above the 64-cent range, I think it's going to be very easy for the price to break into that 74 to 75-cent range. And these are our next major targets before a move to a new all-time high, or for some major upside, at least to the $2 range. Okay, it remains to be seen what happens then, but generally speaking, these are all very positive indicators. We're looking at the volume, we're looking at the relative strength, we're looking at the fact that it is doing better than Bitcoin, and we have so much freaking support here that even if we did have a black swan event, I could thoroughly expect a wick to come right below this 38-cent range, maybe get bought right back up into this range and hold for a little while the market chills out or cools off into the end of the year. And by the end of the year, I do expect markets to start to rally again, considering this was a very long and dry summer, but that is not new for markets. Markets typically do that, and usually into the end of September or sometime October, they really start to pick back up into January. So we could be seeing some new all-time highs through January, and I just think right now into this range right here would be a good time to accumulate. So if you've stuck around to the end of this video and you are an XRP holder, you've been involved in the XRP community for quite a while, or you plan to join the XRP community and start to hold through the end of the year, I think there's no better way to put your XRP to work than by going to bullrunners.com and subscribing so you can earn up to like 1,000 to 2,000 XRP per day. You can discover how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes with the #1 play to earn XRP game. This video explains exactly how you can do it, and Nick proves in the video that it is very much possible for you to not only reduce your volatility in the case of some downside, but also to compound on your XRP bags for a major blow off top through the end of the year. And you do it in 3 simple steps. You get an XRP wallet, you get your game pieces, you play the game and earn crypto. The crypto is directly convertible for XRP, and we show you exactly how to do it in these little tutorial videos. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by checking the link out, bullrunners.com, down below in the description, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe and like the video. It really helps the channel out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, my friend. Goodbye.